and tell me where you're from.
I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Amazing. And why did you sign up for the Tour d'Afrique?
I wanted to do some kind of long distance tour in Africa, and about a year ago kind of over ambitiously thought that I would try and do it alone, and I had this whole grand plan to try and make it to from Johannesburg to Nairobi, and I was gonna get a friend to drive behind me, and it was gonna be this whole big thing. But I realized very quickly that you need to rely on other people when you're doing these kind of things. So in the process of kind of researching different routes and stuff that I could take, I found TDA and was really into the tours and experience that the company provided. It was still sort of rustic enough that I didn't feel like I was, I don't know, paying to go on holiday, but had the added element of like safety in numbers. I think that each place has presented something very different. I think Egypt was challenging because everything was just new, and it was getting into a routine of not only riding every day but setting up your tent and taking it down, and when meals happened, and to be honest, I hadn't done a ton of riding before I came, and so yeah, getting into the routine of doing, I don't know, 100 to 150 kilometers a day was different. And then I think Sudan presented different challenges. We were sort of more in wild camping areas and desert camps for consecutive days, so no toilet, no shower was also something to get used to. And then with the terrain change in Ethiopia, certainly more challenging riding, but I think I'm a big fan of beautiful views, and so the hills and the climbs are worth it. Even different days within the country seem so different. I mean, riding on the highway, our first day out of Cairo felt like worlds apart from following the Nile a couple of days later. So it kind of seems weird to just bunch certain days under different country headings. So I think I'd prefer to choose a favorite day, and I think my favorite day so far has been the day before we got to Gondar. The long hard climb up, we started the day at the mountain camp, which I just thought was so beautiful, and to get to ride like down the mountain passes and then get to Gondar that had like this amazing view was just really incredible. There's so many different moments that kind of collect into bigger moments. I don't really want to choose.
It's hard to choose, eh?
Yeah. I'm not good at one word.
I know, it's tricky, right?
Part of me wants to describe the landscape, and then I have to go with sandy, but that feels like it neglects so much of like what we were doing in Sudan. The people that we met along the way were always really welcoming and friendly. I know that was more words than you asked for, but
no, that's great. That's great. They were very welcoming.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have to ask you.
Sure.